Storytelling for me is like, it's fundamentally human. Like there's something about human beings where, we see patterns, and that's true in storytelling too. There's a reason why certain stories resonate through millennia and generations.
If we know anything from our ancestors, is that our stories are powerful.
The practice of getting up on stage and speaking your truth and speaking your lived experiences is a form of rebellion. And it's also a form of righteousness, saying that this is my world and I'm going to live that world no matter what you put in front of me. YEBO's mission is to deepen self-knowledge, cultural pride, and social connectedness in BIPOC youth through intergenerational storytelling and digital media making. And so we do that through 3 pillars of work. The first pillar is education and career empowerment. The second pillar is cultural enrichment. And the third pillar is youth mental health. And through those pillars, what we are doing is creating opportunities for young people to explore their cultural identities, as well as to build with other people in meaningful and deep ways.
We curate spaces for BIPOC youth to show up and show out, specifically with their stories and their voice. We like to say that an ideal storyteller is somebody who is curious about storytelling, might shy away from public speaking events, and they want to gain skills in public speaking.
It's important for us to create opportunities where young people can explore their lives and derive meaning from their everyday experiences. And so by doing that, you can create narratives of purpose. You can say, my life is not only worthwhile, but here's what I'm learning from the failures, from the challenges, and from the triumphs.
Tell me about moments where you can see it, you could smell it, you can taste it. It doesn't matter if they're mundane or whatever it is. Now let's start exploring, why did you feel that way? And little by little, we start sort of peeling back the layers and discover like a story under there.
Something that makes YEBO stand out is specifically how we integrate our wellness practices. We integrate breathing practices. It's amazing that our lungs can create a state of calmness and relaxfulness. And so we do that so that our storytellers can go up there and be their most powerful and authentic selves. I've seen our storytellers leave the space more curious about their wellness. Like, oh, does that breath work if I'm about to take a test or if I'm about to go into an interview?
There's many organizations, many great initiatives that do this work. What you don't see a lot of is BIPOC-led work that's from people who are from the communities they serve. The one thing that we know is that we can't do this work alone. We're not going to act like we are the almighty change makers. We need to be in collaboration with other dope people in our communities. A really important aspect of our work is partnering with BIPOC youth serving organizations across our state. And so through that work, we know that we can build trust more deeply, we can understand who young people are more authentically, and we also know that we have shared values that we can leverage to make a deeper impact.
When we work with one partner, we're just focusing on that one partner for a month at a time. And so if we had the capacity to bring on more people, we might be able to work with 2, maybe 3 partners with the same intentionality, but with more support.
We know that we can't achieve our 5 to 10 year impact alone. And so we need your investment, we need your time, your treasure, and your talent.
In the next 3 to 5 years, we're launching 2 new programs. One is In Tune. It is going to be a wellness podcast, again, curated by youth. We would have the opportunity to have a youth interview an adult mental health advocate and have real conversations to normalize mental health experiences within youth. And then we're also going to add breathing exercises. I will be piloting 3 different types of breathing exercises. And then the second thing that we're going to pilot in the next year or so is our apprenticeship program.
We can give young people practical skills where they're learning how to do production while at the same time empowering them to share their stories or the stories of their communities.
I'm hoping that YEBO can create a BIPOC youth-led radio station where we stream all of our content 24/7.
The goal is through this work to create a network of youth storytellers across our state who are speaking righteously to each other.
If we're gonna have change in this world, that's where it's gonna come from. It's gonna come from empowering people, not from extracting things from them.
One question I have for funders, and I have for philanthropy itself, is are you invested in our liberation, or are you invested in our labor? If you practice what you preach, when you say you're for equity, when you say you're for diversity, when you say you're for liberation, and you're for our liberation and not just our labor, then you need to support organizations like YEBO, because we are the people.
Through voice, we live.
Through voice, we live.
Through voice, we live.